most of the states, the literacy level is less than 75 percentage. Okay, so you can have a look at all these light colored areas where the literacy level is below 75 percentage. And also there is another statistics in front of us which says uh, the country every month at least 10 lakh people are turning into 18 years of age. That means they have got into an age of where they have to get into the higher educational stream. So if we have to address their educational requirement, India needs to set up at least 6 universities and 270 colleges every month. So that would require a huge investment every month only in setting up these infrastructure. And then the most important aspect of running an institution is the sustainability of it. So even if you set up that many institutions, if you ask me whether they will be sustainable, I don't think so, because we have already seen many institutions which are closing down without having adequate number of admissions. So keeping that in mind, the government of India explored a lot of innovative solutions like online digital solutions like Swayam Prabha, NPTEL, Gyan, NDLI. All these are supplementary and complementary learning resource platforms under the National Mission on Information and Communication Technology of the Ministry of Human Resource Development. So I think many of you are from the library science background, and there are some faculty members also. So you may agree the importance of a library. So if you have a look at the heart of any institution, educational or research institution, is the library. But that is being forgotten in the recent past. And so in the last 5 to 6 years, what is happening is like the budget for the library has been drastically reduced. Say for example, if a normal average institution which used to spend 10 or 20 lakh rupees for library, okay, I think there are some people who have turned on the video. Who is the person? Because I'm not able to see anyone. Muttappa Roti, please turn off your video. Don't pass. I want you to turn off your video, please. Okay, so if you are not going to do it, then I might have to take you out from the webinar, please. I'm going to give you 1 more minute. Thank you. So please, I'm again requesting everyone, kindly don't turn on your video. It's going to annoy everyone. Please don't do it. Just have a look at the presentation and listen to my voice. Even I have not yet turned on my video, right? So kindly please listen to this and be cooperative, because even if I spend 1 minute, we will spend the entire day in only telling people not to do what. So I was telling you about the budget allocation for the physical libraries that has been drastically reduced in the recent past, along with the human resource for the operation of the libraries. So that's one of the challenges that are faced uh, by every educational institution in the country. I hope my audio is clear, because somebody has sent me a message that they are not able to listen to my audio. Just put it in the chat message. Is my audio clear? Okay, so I think it means many of the people can very clear it very clearly. So I think it means that your internet connection has some problem. So go to a place where there is internet connection. So now we will get back to the presentation. So that's one aspect, and the second one is in the physical library. What has happened is In many of the libraries, be it an academic library or a research library or a public library, one thing that I have come across is the space for stacking the resources. That has drastically come down because they don't. Most of the institution they don't have proper weed out policy, so they keep stacking the resources, and so they look for more space for to stack their resources, and which in turn, so in some of the institutions where I have visited, what used to happen is like they procured new resources but they have not even opened these resources because they don't have space to stack them. So that's the situation in the place where I have visited. And also like you have challenges in terms of you may have one or two, suppose if it's a very expensive resource and very good resource, you may have one or two copies of the same resource. So in suppose if it's a very good resource, then hundreds of people would like to come and access it. In the physical library you have limitations in terms of accessing these resources at the same time, whereas in the digital library space you can access uh, like same resource in hundreds, thousands, lakhs, crores times at the same time. So it's going to be the same resource to everyone at the same time. So that's one of the major advantages of National Digital Library. And also in the digital library, like we have hosted around 4.6 crore resources in a small server, right? So that's the power of technology, but still people have their own heart and soul to the physical hard copy printed books. That's going to be always there because even if I read a book in the Kindle, I would like to see the hard copy printed books and smell that books. Then only I will feel the sense of reading. So now let's look at what do we have at NDLA. At NDLA, just give me a moment. I think there is something. Either check, 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 check. Just wait for a few minutes. I think there is something wrong with my audio. இன்டர்நெட் கனெக்ட் பண்ணேன். சீக்கிரம் ஆன் பண்ணு ஹாட்ஸ்பாட். Okay, so sorry, there was some network error, so I had to change my internet connection to a new network. So, am I audible now? Am I audible? Sorry, there was some network issue. Am I audible? Just put it in the chat message. Okay, good. So, sorry about this. There was some severe network issue, so I just connected to a different network now. So, let's begin. So, now I was telling you about what we have at NDLI. At NDLI, we primarily have metadata. So, many of you know metadata stands for data about data. So, in this context, metadata stands for basic information about a resource. Say, for example, if it's a book, the title of the book, the author, who is the publisher, what are the subjects it's covering, the abstract, and the number of pages. These are the basic information about the resource, right? So that is called metadata. At NDLI, we only ingest metadata for search and browse facility. Okay, and we don't store any full text content. Then you may ask me, like, then where does this full text come from? So I will show you an example of NDLI. So this is how NDLI functions. So imagine this center repository, NDLI repository. This is the NDLI platform. Okay, so now what we do is, say for example, we go to uh, say Anna University or Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University. Okay, suppose if JNTU has some 1,000 non-copyrighted open knowledge resources, educational resources, which could be a faculty publication, research papers, or student publications. Okay, so any learning or educational related content. So now what we do is we go to Anna University and we sign an MOU with them, and then uh, we tell them, like, we will if you can share your content, for that you need to create an IDR, institutional digital repository. So we use DSpace for our purpose, and we help them in setting up the IDR, institutional digital repository, and then we help them also in creating the metadata using the metadata schema that we follow. Okay, so you can check our metadata schema in our so you can check our metadata schema from the our project website. Okay, so is there still break in audio? There is some network problem here. Let me just switch over to some other network. Just give me a few more minutes. Just give me a few more minutes. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Okay, so check, check. check. I hope it's fine now. Sorry about this. There is severe a network issue here. So I shifted to at least 3 network. I think every network has the same problem. Okay, so I was talking to you about how NDLI operates. So what happens is like, so we collaborate with, say for example, Anna University or Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University. We sign an MOU. We help them in setting up an institutional digital repository, and then create the metadata in the schema, metadata schema that we follow. Once we create that IDR and the metadata, we only pull the metadata from their site. Okay, the full text lies with Anna University or Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University. Suppose if a researcher from say West Bengal wants to access the resource on artificial intelligence from Anna University, so he comes to NDLI and then he search in our database, say artificial intelligence. Suppose if the resources from Anna University is useful for him, then what he does is he clicks on that resource, then we redirect him to the IDR of Anna University. So IDR of Anna University checks whether this resource is coming, if this person is coming from NDLI. If it's coming from NDLI and it's an authenticated source, then Anna University or Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University directly gives the full text resource to that researcher. So this is how NDLI operates. So we actually don't create or we don't scan resources. Rather, we collaborate with partners who have already created digital resources which are non-copyrighted and open resources. So there are 3 types of resources available at NDLI. So first type of content is born digital content. These are contents like, suppose you have typed your article, you published an article and you typed your article using a computer or laptop or using MS Word or any word processing software. You submitted your article and it's got published. Okay, now this is called born digital content because you have created in the digital format itself. And the second one is the digital surrogate of a physical object. Imagine some 30 years back when there was no internet connection. When there was no use of a computer for typing or using it for household purposes or work purposes. So that time people used to write the thesis using typewriter or handwritten. So in that case, now you scan the entire thesis which is available in the physical format and then put it in the PDF format for public use. So this is called digital surrogate of a physical object. And the third one is only the digital metadata of the physical object. So here we may not have the full text resource, we only have metadata. As I mentioned, NDLI does not store any content in our platform. We only ingest metadata for search and browse facility, and the full text is delivered from the content partner. As I mentioned, we primarily partner. Our platform is a content integrator or content collator. Okay, so far we have 278 content partners who are sharing their resources with the entire nation. Now let's look at what type of content we have at NDLI. So computer science, information and general works, we have closer to 1 crore resources, 99.95 thousand resources. Philosophy and psychology, 6.1 lakh resources. Religion, 2 lakh resources. Social sciences, 45 lakh resources. Language, 1 lakh resources. Natural sciences and mathematics, 83 lakh resources. Technology, 1 crore resources. The arts, fine and decorative arts, 4.5 lakhs. Literature and rhetoric, 7.8 lakhs. History and geography, 6.1 lakhs. So in total, if you add all of them, we have 4.8 crore resources as of today, and it keeps increasing as we speak. And there are top 20 content contributors who are listed in this slide. So World eBook Library is the topmost content contributor. uh, like in fact, the government of India has procured national license from World eBook Library, and they've given it to NDLI for giving access to the entire World eBook Library at free of cost. Followed by CiteSeer, which has 52 lakh resources, PubMed Central 38 lakh resources, IEEE 33 lakh. With IEEE, we only have metadata. Metadata means we only have the basic information about their resources. We don't have the access to full text resources. Similarly, Springer Link, we only have the metadata. We only the full text you have to. If your institution has subscribed to Springer, then you will be getting the full text resources. And then we look at the type of content. We have at NDLI. So you name any major form of educational resources. So be it a thesis, dissertation, research projects, e-books, articles, annual reports, project reports, working papers, lecture slides, video lectures, audio lectures, courseware, term papers, assignments, assessments, uh, lab experiments, data sets, manuscripts, question banks of various competitive examinations. So we have a range of contents at India. So articles dominate the major list with 2.9 crore resources. 2.97 crore resources, followed by books which have 64 lakh resources. Reports are 12 lakh resources. Notes are 11 lakh resources. Law acts are 8.7 lakh. Law judgments are 8.7 lakhs. Technical reports are 7.1 lakhs. Thesis are 6.4 lakhs. Historical records are 5.3 lakhs. Video lectures are 3.62 lakhs. So this is the learning resource type wise content. And then access options. So in the quiz there may be questions about this also, so kindly listen to it properly. uh, so there are 5 different access options available at NDLI. The first one is open. So this means you will have the full text resources. So this is denoted by a green lock with open symbol. So that is the open access. This is the first access option. And the second access option is NDL users. So this is also full text, but there is a slight difference. Say for example, the government of India has procured these resources uh, from publishers and given it to the NDLI registered users at free of cost. So this is denoted by a, a person with NDLI return. This is the second access option. Third access option is limited access, which means suppose if there is an article with 50 pages, only 30 pages will be available and the remaining 20 pages may not be available. So only the limited access available. So this is the third access option. And the fourth access option is subscribed. Subscribed means, say for example, IEEE or Springer. Suppose if your institution has subscribed to that resource, you will be able to get the full text resources. Otherwise, you may not be having the full text resources. You will only have the metadata. And the fifth access option is restricted. So restricted means this resource is only for their internal consumption. This is not for external use. So this red lock with closed option, this denotes the restricted access. Okay, so these are the 5 different access options. Now let's look at access right wise contents. Okay, so open resources are 2.74 crore resources and NDLA resources are 77 lakh resources. So if you combine these two, the total resources of full text resources, that is open and NDLA resources, are 3.62 crore resources, which these 3.62 crore resources you can access it without having to pay a single penny. So these are available at your disposal, at your fingertips. So 75% of our resources are full text, resources. Let me just try to reconnect this audio. Just a moment. Okay, so I hope, but it shows in my system the audio is working. I hope the audio is clear. Is there a problem? Okay, somebody says no, sir, no problem. Okay, so audio is clear. Continue. No, no.
Working, sir, working.
Okay, so I will move ahead. I think there is still some network issue. That's why for some people they are not able to listen properly. Okay, so now we will move to the next slide. So the content that we have at NDLI are meant for everyone, starting from the school going students to college going youths, professionals who are working, academicians, researchers, entrepreneurs, or lifelong learners. Anyone who is interested in learning, we have resources for them. Now we are going to look at how to access NDLI. So for accessing NDLI, what you need to do is go to Google or any search engine for that matter. Okay, and then search for National Digital Library of India. Okay, the first URL you will get ndl.iitkgp.ac.in. So that's our URL. Okay, and also we have another URL called ndl.gov.in. So both the URLs work. Suppose if you want to open NDLI, what you need to do is go here and then click on the first URL. Then you will get the home page. So this is how our new home page, NDLI home page, looks like. Okay, so earlier there used to be a login screen and all, but currently we don't have a login screen, login section. So now you can first go here and then start searching. So this is the search box that we have at the home page. And during this time of lockdown, our team has actually classified the resources into various educational level and disciplines. So here you can see the first classification as study at home. For school students, engineering students, science students, humanities, literature, management, and law. Okay, and also our team has created a research repository on COVID-19. So you can see the major repository about various scholarly publications, data sets, documents and videos, journals and conferences, funding options and all. So you can check here. And then we have a featured collections option also. So this is how our home page looks like. Suppose if you want to search for a topic, then what you need to do is go to the search box, okay, and then click enter the topic. So for accessing NDLA, you need to remember two things. One is we need to know the right search keyword without any spelling mistake. So that is one thing you need to remember. And the second thing you need to remember is, so I think somebody has again turned on their video. Is there someone? So kindly do not turn on your camera, please. Thank you. So second thing is you need to remember various filter options that are available at NDLI. Okay, so here I searched for a topic called Punjabi literature and then I clicked on search. Now I wanted the resources in the language of Punjabi only. So what I did was went to language. So on the left hand side there are filters. So the filters like access restriction, subject category, educational degree, difficulty level, educational level, file format, language, learning resource type, source. These are the filter options that are available on the left hand side, and also on the right hand side we have a filter called content type. Okay, so I went to the language filter and then chose Punjabi. I got 594 results on the topic of Punjabi literature in Punjabi language itself. And also you can change the entire interface into your mother tongue also. So currently it is available in Hindi, Bangla, Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, Odia, Tamil, and Malayalam, Assamese also. So the next topic I searched was on history of English literature. So here I applied for a filter called subject category. I chose language and literature. I got 6.7 lakh resources on the topic of history of English literature. And the next topic I searched was on modern India. Okay, so I searched for modern India and then I applied subject category history and geography and access restriction open and India. I got 20,000 results on this topic of modern India alone. And the next topic I searched was on Indian constitutional law. I got 31 lakh resources on this topic. Only full text resources are 31 lakh resources. The next topic I searched was on 1984, which is one of those top 10 novels in the world. So we have the full text resources. So here you can see two 1984s. Now you can check at the bottom, you have three icons. The first icon denotes the access restriction. So I told there are 5 different types of access restrictions and one of the access restriction is NDLI. So here it is shows NDLI. So this is for NDLI users and this is the language. Second icon denotes the language. So here it is written as HUN, which means Hungarian. So the language of this resource is Hungarian and the text type is text. And the next one here you can see the same, but the language is English. Suppose if you want it in English, you just click here, then you will get the English language resources. Okay. And the next topic I searched was on sociology. But I wanted only video lectures on sociology. So I clicked on the right hand side, there is a content type filter and I wanted only video lectures. So I clicked on the video icon. I got 455 results on this topic of sociology alone. And the next topic I searched was on biochemistry. Now I wanted to know what are the theses that are available on this topic of biochemistry. Okay. So now what I did was I went to the subject search box and then I searched for biochemistry. And then I went to source. So sources, we saw the total content contributors. So all the content contributors will come under the source category. So here I wanted thesis. So what I did was there is something called InflibNet Shodhganga. So I chose InflibNet Shodhganga and I got 3,383 resources on this topic of biochemistry alone. And the next topic I searched was on microeconomics. Here I wanted resources from Asim Premji Foundation and MIT OpenCourseware. I got 251 results. Next topic was on human physiology and I wanted only video lectures. I got 12,788 results on this topic of human physiology alone. Next one is engineering mechanics. Now I wanted it from the author of Sudarshan Iyengar. So I chose author and then I clicked on Sudarshan Iyengar. I got 862 results on this topic of engineering mechanics. Next topic was on artificial intelligence and now I wanted it from MIT OpenCourseware. I got 64 results. And then I searched for something called pedagogy of science. So now I wanted it from a source called TeacherTube. So TeacherTube is a source which generates videos for teachers. So here pedagogy of science, we have 84,000 videos on this topic of pedagogy of science. And then I searched for something called rural marketing under the subject category of technology. I got 1,38,000 results on this topic of rural marketing. Now let's see how to open a resource from NDLI. So I searched for this topic called research methodology and then clicked on search. And from the source of Lovely Professional University, I got 1,438 results on this topic of research methodology. Okay. Now suppose if I want to open this first topic, so I have to go here and then just click. Once I click, I will see this page. So there are 2 tabs on the top. So first click on this metadata tab. So once you click on this metadata tab, then this page will open. So this is called metadata. So the title is Research Methodology, source is from Lovely Professional University, content type is text, publisher is Excel Books Private Limited, file format is PDF, language is English, subject domain, subject keyword, educational role, learning resource type, publisher date. So this is called metadata. And suppose if you find these resources useful, then what you need to do is, second thing you need to check is access restriction. It shows open, which means you can access these resources, the full text resources you can access. And then you have to see whether you have logged in or not. Here I have already logged in as Vignesh Swarnamohan. You can check it from the right top corner. So it shows Vignesh Swarnamohan, which means I can download this resource now. So then you just have to go here and click on content. Then the entire resource will get downloaded into your desktop or laptop or mobile phone, depending on the device you use. Okay. Imagine you have not logged in. So now you can see on the right top corner, it shows like you have to log in. So that means you have not yet logged in. So if you click on content, then it will ask you to log in first. So you just go here and click on login. Then this pop-up window will open. So this pop-up window will open. So it will ask for email ID and password which you used for NDLI. Suppose if you have already registered and if you remember your password, just enter your email ID and password, enter the captcha and click on login. Then you will get the entire PDF file. Okay. Suppose you registered at NDLI few years back and you forgot your password. In that case, what you need to do is, there is this orange color icon called account recovery. Just click on this account recovery. Then this pop-up window will appear. Here you have to just enter your email ID which you used for at the time of registration. Enter your email ID and then submit. Once you submit, you will get the password reset link. And once you just have to follow the process and then reset your password and then come back here and enter your email ID and password, captcha, and then you are all set to go. Imagine if you have never registered at NDLI and this is the first time you are hearing about NDLI, or this is the first time you are visiting NDLI. So you have an option called register. Okay, so just click on this register button, then this registration page will open, form will open. So it will ask you for 4 mandatory details. One is your full name, second one is your personal email ID, third one is your password, fourth one is the confirmation password. So you enter these 4 details, and other field you can fill it, or you can fill it later also. The entire form will not take more than 5 minutes for you to fill. So just fill the form and then submit it. Then you will get a verification email. Just click on the URL, your account get activated. Then you come back and enter your email ID and password and then click login. That's it. You can use this resources free of cost lifelong. Suppose if it's a video lecture. So this is how the video lecture will open in the frame. So I already told you about how to use NDLI. So for using NDLI, you need to remember 2 things. One is the right search keyword without any spelling mistake. So that is one. And the second thing you need to remember is the various filter options which you can use to narrow down the results. So now I'm going to talk about some 8 important filter options that may be useful for you to narrow down the results. The first filter option is access restriction. Suppose if you want only full text resources, go here and then click open and NDLI. You will get only the full text resources. And the second filter option is author. Suppose you search for a topic and you wanted the resource from Wei Zhang. Just go here and then choose Wei Zhang. You will get the from this author only. Third filter is subject category. Okay. So based on your search keyword, you have to choose the subject category. And the fourth filter option is file type, file format. So here, suppose if you want only PDF files, go here and then click PDF files. MP3, MP4, MP3 is audio files, MP4 is video files. So you choose depending on the file format you want. And the fifth filter option is language. fifth filter option is language. So NDLI resources are available in over 300 languages, both Indian as well as international languages. So you can go here and then search for, suppose if you want the resource in Telugu, just go here and type Telugu. Suppose if you want it from Hindi, just go here and type Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, whatever language you have. So you just search for your language. And the sixth filter option is learning resource type. So there are about 60 different learning resource types that are available at NDLI. So suppose if you want audiobooks, go here and then click audiobooks, case studies, newspaper, whatever you want. Suppose if you want thesis, go here and type thesis, you will get thesis only. And then source. Source, as I mentioned, we have all the content contributors come under the source category. So you can, there are about 275 content contributors, and then from here you can narrow down the based on which source you want. Suppose if you want resource only from Bloomsbury, just go here and then click Bloomsbury. And the last filter option is content type. This filter is only available on the desktop application, not in the mobile app. So this is on the right hand side, it's available on the right hand side. Suppose if you want only the video, just go here and then click video, audio. So depending on the file format you want, you can choose the content. And I have already mentioned the NDLI interface can be changed into your own mother tongue also. So currently it's available in Hindi, Bangla, Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, Malayalam, Assamese. And for the ease of use, our team has also created a mobile app for both Android as well as iOS platforms. So for accessing this, suppose if you want to install if you are using an Android phone and you want to install this app, what you need to do is go to the Play Store, Google Play Store, and then search for National Digital Library of India. Then once you search, I think most probably this will be the first app. So you have to check the logo, the name of the app, which is National Digital Library of India, and then the publisher, which is also National Digital Library of India, and then you click on install. Okay, once you click on the install button, then you will the app will get installed. Then you can open the app, start using. Similarly for iOS, go to the iStore, iPhone, go to the iStore and then search for National Digital Library of India, and then you have to confirm the logo, name of the app, and then the publisher. Then you can install the app. Currently it's available only for iStore and Play Store. Now I'm going to show you how to use NDLI mobile app in the Android platform. So this first screen, you see, this is the once you open the app, this is how the home page looks like. Okay, suppose if you want to search, then what you need to do is click on the search icon available on the top. Just click here, and then only this search box will appear. In the desktop application, you have the search box available throughout the page, but here this is hidden. So you just have to click on this search icon, then this search box will appear. Okay, so here I've searched for something called search keyword called Uttar Pradesh, and then clicked search from the keypad, and I got 41,573 results. Okay, suppose if you want to narrow down the results, if you want to apply filters, then what you need to do is, in the desktop application you had the filters on the left hand side and also on the right hand side. So in the mobile app, this is available on the bottom right corner, this orange color icon. This is the filter icon in this mobile app. So you just have to click on this orange color icon, then you will get all the filters which we saw on the desktop application on the top. So you can actually scroll down this page to see the remaining filters also. Okay, so here I applied for the filter called source, and then I chose Aligarh Muslim University, and then I click apply. I got 199 results on this topic of Uttar Pradesh alone from Aligarh Muslim University. So this is how you need to use NDLI mobile app. Now uh, before we move to the next section. So I'm going to give you a small activity for next 5 minutes. It's the activity is you have to do two things. The first thing you need to do is go to Play Store or iStore and then search for National Digital Library of India uh, app and then install that app. Okay, go to National Digital, install National NDLI app and then search for the topic of your interest or subject of study or subject of teaching, and then you have to put it in the chat message. You installed the app, you searched for say for example I searched for financial accounting and I found 50,000 results. So you have to write in the chat window, I installed the app, I searched for financial accounting and I found 50,000 results. So you have to enter it in the chat window. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Next 5 minutes I'm going to give it to you. So if you have already installed, it's brilliant, that's great. If you have not, kindly install and start searching for the topic of your interest and then do it. So during this 5 minutes, so now it's 12:53 in my system. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You can turn on your camera. You can turn on your camera for next 5 minutes so that I can take few screenshots, and you have to be presentable in the camera. During next 5 minutes, you have to do an activity. Install the NDLI mobile app. Install NDLI mobile app and search for the topic of your interest or subject of study. And then in the chat window, I want you to enter whether you already installed, brilliant. If you installed, and then what topic you searched and how many results you found. So these four information I wanted you to put in the chat window. So if you are using iOS, so go to iStore and then search for National Digital Library of India. You will get the app. You have the app logo. Download and install. So Mr. Ramesh, so kindly take screenshots of the participants from your mobile phone or desktop and then send it to me separately. And I'm going to read out what are the feedbacks that we have got. Dr. Ritu Arora searched on mathematics, characterization, multivariate, volume 6, issue 1, PDF 14. Brilliant, Dr. Ritu Arora. Suti Kushal Shrote installed the app and searched for general knowledge. I got 9,56,000 results. Searched for artificial and got 2,42,000 results. Sripada Bhaskar already installed, but I'm getting directly contents but not the numbers. Okay, so numbers will come and disappear. So Prerna, history of interior in English and found 5 lakhs. Kindly mute your mic, please. Social ethics, Sajid Kumar also. Poonam Jain already installed. Okay, physics, Shandeep Haldar searched on the topic of physics. Searched for electrical engineering, Elisha Wundeti, Mushkan Chaurasia, microeconomics, 1,64,000 results. And it's not installing the app, but I searched Indially on my laptop. Okay, Navkiran Kaurji, thank you. And then Aram Nandini's financial literacy got 9,640 results. Good, Nandini ji. Jishnu Bhattacharya, topics journalism, 67 lakhs. You can narrow down the results using various filter options. Searched on computer science, okay. Vedanta Kalita, library science, teacher education, material science, geography. Yeah. So काफी सारे टॉपिक्स आ रहे हैं. Technology, searched images, yoga, okay. Himani Sharma searched on images, yoga images, subject gateways, library science, library cataloging, machine learning, botany, finite element analysis. Now a lot of new topics are coming up, so that's interesting. So that's so kindly mute your mic. Kindly mute your mic, please. Okay, so now I think 5 minutes time is over. So if uh, you find this app useful, and if you see if we have some useful resources for you, and if you could use it for your educational purposes, so I humbly request each one of you to share this app with at least 100 people in the next 1 hour. So that's the request that I have, because we are about 251 people in this webinar as of now. And even if we reach out to 100 people each, we can easily reach out to 25,000 people in the next 1 hour. So giving access to knowledge is the best gift that you can give it to anyone in the world. So I humbly request you share this app with people. Maybe they could be your students or your friends, relatives. They may be your distant relatives. So you may be part of many WhatsApp groups. You just go to Play Store or iStore, and then just share this app. Okay. So now we will begin the session. So I just want you to turn off your camera. So now you can turn off the camera. So Mr. Sripada, Muhammad Atik, Verma ji, Navkiran Kaur ji, Vidyashri Gangodkar, Raja Satish Kumar, Ruchi Jain. Kindly turn off your camera, please. Kindly turn off. Thank you. Mr. Verma ji, Mr. Bandi Yugantar, kindly turn off your camera, please. Kaushik Shamanta, kindly turn off your video, please. So we are going to begin the session. Mr. Bucharamlu Bhatta, please turn off your video, please. Turn off your video. आप वीडियो बंद कीजिए. वर्मा जी, आपका वीडियो अभी भी चालू है, आप बंद कीजिए प्लीज. डीजे सीएम डॉक्टर जिग्नेश जी मगवाना, प्लीज टर्न ऑफ योर वीडियो. वर्मा जी कहाँ पे है? सो वर्मा जी, मैं आपको वीडियो बंद कर रहा हूँ. स्टॉप विद कैमरा शेयर. ओके, सो नाउ वर्मा जी, आप अपना वीडियो बंद कीजिए. मैंने तो बंद कर दिया है, आप अपने इनसे बंद कीजिए. आप अपने डेस्कटॉप में नीचे देखेंगे सेकेंड आइकॉन कैमरा आएगा, उस पर दबाइए, वो बंद हो जाएगा वीडियो। सिर्फ आप ही का वीडियो चल रहा है, आप बंद कीजिए प्लीज। Verma ji, please. I'm going to dismiss. Okay, so now we will start the session. I hope the presentation is visible now. Suppose if you have not got the verification email, kindly go and check the spam box, and also in case you wait for an hour or so, if you don't get it, then go to the NDLI app. So there is a bottom left, you will see an account recovery option. So just click on the account recovery button, then you will enter your email, then you will get the email again. Okay. So is there anyone who has still turned on their camera? So I request you to kindly turn off your camera, please. So now we are going to look at what is the difference between Google and NDLI with an example. So imagine there is a girl called Payal who's studying in class 8, and she wants to know about physics, and she's studying in Hindi medium. She wants it in Hindi. So imagine there's another guy called Shamik who's studying in, who wants to pursue his PhD from an institution. So he wants to prepare in the topic of, his synopsis in the topic of magnetism. So both of them went to Google and they searched for the topic called magnetism, and they got both of them got same results, which is 1.89 crore results. And then they came to NDLI and they searched for the same topic called magnetism, and they got 11,16,674 results. Okay, and then what Boyle did was, she applied two filters. The first filter she applied was educational level, 5th to 8th standard, and then language she chose Hindi, and she got only 8 results. And then what Shamik did was, he chose only career and technical papers, and then he got 219 results. So imagine where is 1.89 crore results and where is 8 or 219 results. So with this example, we will see what is the difference between Google and NDLI. So first, and before we look into it, we have to know how Google functions. So Google is a brilliant tool. We don't have any competition with them. They do their job brilliantly. Okay. So now, suppose once you put the topic, say for example, the moment you put the topic called magnetism, what Google does is, it goes around the entire World Wide Web, and wherever this term magnetism is there, it will fetch the results. So in this process, what Google can't do is, it can't check whether this content is coming from an authentic source or an unauthentic source, whether this is a real information or a fake information, whether this content is relevant to educational discipline or no, whether this is relevant for Shamik or Payal or Vignesh, it can't distinguish. So for it, for Google, it is it treats everyone as equals. So if anyone has turned on their camera, kindly turn off your camera, please. It could turn out to be a major security issue. So kindly turn off your camera. I can't see anyone camera from my system. It shows everybody's camera is off. If anybody's camera is on, then just send me a message separately in the chat window. So whereas in NDLI, all the resources, all the 4.8 crore resources are primarily coming from the educational research or publishing partners. Okay, and all these content are curated. They are all working in the educational domain, and all these content are curated content only. And the second one is, difference is, you can actually narrow down at NDLI, you can narrow down the results using various educational filter options. In Google also we have advanced filter option, but I came to know about the advanced filter option only very few years back, and many people still don't know the advanced filter option which is hidden. And also the advanced filter options are very generic, whereas in NDLI these filters are primarily meant for educational purpose only. And the third difference is you can modify the search based on the content type, like audiobook or video. So you can narrow down the based on the content type. And the fourth difference is at the NDLI, the government of India has procured national license and given it to every Indian citizen through NDLI, which is not available at Google. So these are the four major difference between Google and NDLI. Now we will look at how to operate NDLI club in your own institution. So what is the objective of NDLI club? The objective of NDLI club is two. One is to promote the culture of reading. So you may know the culture of reading has been drastically reduced, especially the young generation. So we need to bring back the culture of reading among the youths. So for this, we have a few ways to bring the culture of reading. So I will talk about it in a while. And also to take forward the knowledge resources of NDLI to every Indian citizen. These are the two primary objectives of NDLI club. And how do we do it? From each class, one student, and from each department, one faculty member, and librarian or faculty or NSS coordinator as the ex officio secretary, and principal as the ex officio chairman of the club. So you have to form the club with this composition. So once you get this list approved by your head of the institution, then you have to apply for a NDLI club registration. So this is the URL. So I will so this is, once you click on this URL, this is the temporary arrangement. So this is a Google form for NDLI club registration. You have to just enter your institution name, your state of the institution, district of the institution, your address, email of the nodal person, email of the name of the principal, email, mobile number, and then you have to attach the list of NDLI club members, and then the date of starting NDLI club in your institution, and then submit. So once you submit, you will get a confirmation email from our we will do a backend check, and then if you found it's valid, then we will issue a certificate of registration. So this is how the certificate of registration looks like. Okay, and so once you get the certificate of registration, you need to do two activities. The step one is register all the students and faculty members within 30 days of receipt of the certificate. So that is the first activity. And the second one is you need to conduct at least 10 reading or knowledge related activities in the remaining 12 months, because the certificate is valid for 1 year. So for renewal of the certificate, you need to register all the faculty members and students and also conduct 10 reading related activities in your own institution. So now we will see how to do the registration. Say for example, there are two options to conducting registration. One is individual registration, and the second one is bulk registration. So suppose if your friends or family members wants to register who are not part of any institution, you can ask them to do an individual registration. For bulk registration, this is primarily helpful for higher educational institutions, because when UGC, NAC or AICTE or NBA comes for accreditation, they will ask you for digital resources, learning resources, library resources. That time you can show NDLI as the learning resource that you are using. So if you tell them, then they will ask you to produce the certificate of NDLI club and also the number of people you have registered and number of people who have activated. So this number of people registered and activated can be shown only from if you have done through bulk registration. Suppose if they have done it through individual registration, you may not be able to show them the number of people who have registered at NDLI. Okay. So for doing bulk registration, I will show you how to do this. Uh, so now I'm conducting an awareness session for you. Now what you need to do is go back to your own institution and organize an awareness session for your own NDLA club members. Who are the NDLA club members? They are one person from every student, one student from each class, and one faculty members from each department. Now they in turn go back and conduct an awareness session for their own students. So you have to collect 3 details from each of the students and faculty members. What are those 3 details? The personal email ID. I'm telling it's personal because if you give them the official email ID, the college email ID, they may use it for only 3 or 4 years. After they pass out, this ID will be deleted. So take their personal email ID and then their first name and last name. So collect it in an Excel sheet and then send it to our official email ID, which is ndl-support@iitkgp.ac.in, with a copy to my email ID, which is vignesh@ndl.gov.in and vigneshjaini@gmail.com. Once you send it to us, so there is 2 people who have turned on their video, RS, and kindly turn off your video, please. Mr. Srinivas Rao Kalluri, kindly turn off your video now. Mr. Srinivas Rao, kindly turn off your video. Mr. Srinivas Rao, if you don't do it, then I might have to remove you from the webinar, please. Okay, so I'm going to take them out from the webinar. Srinivas Rao. Have you turned off? No. So I'm going to take you out. Okay, so within once you send it to us, our team will upload and then they will send you a confirmation email, and most of the students will get the confirmation email, the verification email with a temporary password. They have to just click on the URL, and by default the email ID is the username and the temporary password will be given. Just enter the temporary password, then you can reset your password for your choice, and you are all set to use NDLI. Okay. And for individual registration, so this was the earlier web page. So I told you again, so you just have to go and search for the topic. Once you click on the topic of your choice, then you will ask you to log in. So that time you can do 3 things. You can either enter account recovery or register. Okay. So and this is how the NDLI registration form looks like. So it will ask for your full name, email ID, password, and confirm password. These are the 4 mandatory details: date of birth, gender, state, city, educational role, language, institute name, and then enter the captcha, click on the terms and condition, and then sign up. So this will not take more than 5 minutes for registration. So kindly keep your questions for the end of the session, because currently everyone is putting the questions in the chat window. I'm not able to read because so too many questions. So kindly keep the questions with you. I will ask you to raise the questions toward the end of the presentation. So far we saw about registration part. Now the activities part. So as I mentioned, within 1 year you need to conduct 10 reading related activities. So some of the activities that you may want to conduct are lecture series, quiz competition, storytelling session, go fish session, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, maker space, debate, And these are just indicative list of activities, and you can also come up with your own reading or knowledge related activities for NDLA club. And these are some of the images of conducting various webinars from uh, various NDLA clubs. And we also have an inserting mechanism for best performing NDLA clubs, and also we started conducting reading Olympiads. So this is my contact details. So my name is Dr. Vignesh, and my email ID is vignesh@ndl.gov.in, and my personal email ID is vigneshjnu@gmail.com, and my mobile number is 9999654458. The best way of reaching out to me is email. So I most likely reply to your email within 48 hours. So if I don't get back to you within 44 hours, then you can send me an WhatsApp message on this number. And in the WhatsApp message, kindly mention your name, your institute name, and what information you want from my. So then only I will be able to know you. The other day I got a message, kindly save this number. I don't know who that person was, and because we meet at least 200 people every day, so we may not be able to remember your name. So kindly, please do this. And also for bulk registration, you need to contact this email ID ndl-support@iitkgp.ac.in. And my colleague Rajendra Singh, he is the in charge for bulk registration, and he can be reached on his mobile number 8197564857. Okay, so this is the NDLI contact information. So now it's time for quiz com feedback form. So I'm going to, for the next few minutes, kindly don't enter any chat message. I will share the video with everyone, so kindly be patient. So I'm going to enter the URL for feedback form in the chat window. So kindly see this, click on this URL. Don't put any chat message for the next few minutes. I'm going to open the feedback form and show you how the feedback form looks like. So this is how the NDLI feedback form looks like. It will ask you for information of your institution. Remember, enter your institution name in full. Okay, don't make any short form, don't make any mistakes, and similarly your full name. Okay, and enter it properly. If you make any mistakes in your name or in your institution name, the same thing will reflect in your certificate also. Then don't come back to me and saying that you want me to change the name of you want to change the name in your institute. That may not happen, because this is certificate is all generated by a system. Okay, and we can't do any manual work there. Once it is generated, we can't make any changes. So I humbly request you to please be very careful in entering your name, and your institution name, and then date of the webinar, which is today. And many people enter their date of birth in the date of the webinar, so don't do this. Enter your date of the webinar, which is today, 26th of May, and then your designation, which is librarian, faculty, or assistant professor, associate professor, or a research scholar, or a student. So what is your designation? You can enter, and then your email ID. And if you make any mistakes in the email ID also, you will not get the certificate. So one person sent me an email after 10 days of conducting the webinar, and then she said she didn't receive the certificate. Then I checked, we have issued the certificate. Then later we found out her email ID which she entered in the form was wrong. So now I had to enter her email ID, change her email ID, and after 10 days only she got a certificate. And also your mobile number, and then the quiz question starts. The first question is, do you have an login account for NDLI? If you have it, click on yes, and if you don't have it, click on no. And the second question is, name the various filter options available at NDLI. So I already told you the various filter options available on the desktop application is available on the left hand side and also on the right hand side, and in the mobile app it is available on the bottom right corner, uh, in the orange color icon. So you have to find out and do it. And next option is what are the various learning resource types available in DLI. So you can find out from the filter option learning resource type, and then so you have to write at least some 5 or 6 learning resource type that you can find out from there. And don't write any NA, NS, don't know. If you write that, then you may not get the certificate. And then the next question is NDLA content available in how many languages? So I told you it's available in so many languages, both Indian and international language. So you have to recollect, or you can find out from the app or desktop application. And then list out 5 access options available in NDLI. This I told you very clearly. What are those 5 access options? And then how NDLI is different from Google, you have to enter. And then how NDLI helps to your learning during COVID-19 lockdown situation, and you have to write it in 100 words. And then overall feedback about NDLI, any suggestions for NDLI to consider, and feedback about this webinar conducted by Dr. Vignesh. So these are the questions, and I'm requesting you again, don't be in a hurry, don't make any spelling mistake, or don't make any mistakes here, because once you enter, you will not be able to edit it. And for people who have already got the certificate, they will not get the certificate again. So kindly excuse me for this, because this system will check whether it is already issued to you or not. So now I hope the feedback form is opening. If it's open, kindly put in the chat window, yes, you have got the feedback form. Yes, so NDLA is free for everyone. So people have got the RKR, Naukiran, Kaurji, Parul Sen, Himani Sharma. Yes, they have got the feedback form and they have started opening it. So I'm again requesting, don't make any mistakes in the form. Read it properly. I'm going to give you 30 minutes. So I will be opening this form for 30 minutes. That is up to 2 o'clock. This form will be open. So this form will not take more than 5 to 10 minutes for you to fill. Only for people who submit the feedback form will get the certificate. And the other day, one person sent me a screenshot saying that he or she attended the webinar. Then I checked in the system.
Hello.
Wait for a few minutes, please. When I checked in the system, she attended the webinar only for 12 minutes. So our system will also check how many minutes you spent in the webinar also. So you have to be honest to yourself and then respond. And if you have any questions, you can now put it in the chat window. So for people who didn't get the feedback,
हेलो
हाँ जी बताइए,
हमें आपका फीडबैक फॉर्म कहाँ से मिलेगा दिखने में?
आप मोबाइल फोन यूज कर रहे हैं कि डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन यूज कर रहे हैं?
मोबाइल मोबाइल
मोबाइल पे आप सेंटर पे दबाएंगे, आप साथ में करते आइएगा।
हाँ
सेंटर पे दबाएंगे, ऊपर एक बार देखिएगा, गोल से एक होगा राइट हैंड साइड पे, ऊपर राइट हैंड साइड पे कोने पे गोल से एक लाल कलर
हाँ
का
है
डॉट होगा, उस पे दबाएंगे, फिर आपको हमारा
हाँ
वो यूआरएल अभी मैंने डाला है, वो एक बार आप चेक कर लीजिए। ठीक है, दिख रहा है अभी आपको? So for people,
hello sir.
Yes, one by one please. Sailesh Prabhu.
Sir, yes sir, I am using smartphone, so from where can I get the feedback form?
So click on the center of your phone. On the top you will see the icons. On the top right corner you will see a round color icon with a red dot in it. Just click there, you will see the feedback form. So kindly mute your mic.
Okay.
Any other questions? Put it in the chat window, please. Can we add institution name and other details without getting approval from institute's HOD?
Sir, I have not got it.
So Lina,
will you send it
no G, because there are 250 people. If I send it to one by one, then it will take a lot of time. So मैं आपको एक आसान रास्ता बता देता हूँ। आप कौन सा यूज कर रहे हैं, डेस्कटॉप से कर रहे हैं कि मोबाइल फोन से कर रहे हैं?
मोबाइल
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 फोन पे आप सेंटर पे दबाइए।
सेंटर पे दबा रखा है।
दबाया, फिर ऊपर आपको राइट हैंड कोने पे एक आइकॉन गोल आइकॉन दिखेगा।
हाँ
एक
साथ में सर।
तो वहां पे चैट, तो काइंडली म्यूट योर माइक। So I'm going to tell this in 3 languages how to see the window, this feedback form in your chat box. I'm going to tell in English now. So if you are using a mobile phone, click on the center of the app. Then on the bottom as well as on the top, you will see icons coming. Go to the top right corner. You will see a round circle with a red dot. Just click there. You will see the chat message. Okay. There. G Ashok Kumar, please mute your mic. G Ashok Kumar, please mute your mic. So in the chat window, I have just entered the feedback form. Okay. And for people, I'm going to tell this in Hindi also. So कितने भी लोग feedback forms कह रहे हैं उनको नहीं मिला, आप अपने chat window खोलने के लिए ऐप में सेंटर पे दबाइए, फिर राइट कोने पे ऊपर टॉप में कोने पे एक गोल वाला चक्कर दिखेगा, वहां पे एक लाल डॉट दिखेगा, उस पे दबाएंगे, फिर आपको चैट विंडो खुल जाएगा। ठीक है, चैट विंडो पे नीचे आप जाएंगे